current charges that he's facing give you any pause to support him?
As somebody who has accidentally broken the law myself, carrying a firearm into an airport, I believe that the legal system can be confusing, not always transparent. And until he is charged, really found guilty for something and punished appropriately so for it, I am not concerned about where he stands currently with legal situations.
So if he is convicted, you would be potentially open to voting for someone else?
I don't know if I would go and, hold on, let me think for a second. It would have a serious impact on my decisions. I would say that. I would honestly say that is probably where my stance is currently. It would have a serious impact on my decisions.
Hey, Max, thank you so much for sharing your opinions with us. We do very much appreciate it. We'll let you get to your family. I know you've been waiting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, Jake, a lot of different types of voters here, as you just heard from Max, a Trump voter there. Earlier, we spoke to some Nikki Haley supporters, including a Democrat who voted in this open primary, saying that she would vote for Nikki Haley in the general election. Again, 30 minutes to go before we start seeing results, Jake.
Thank you so much, Boris. Max, of course, just one of many, many voters of faith in South Carolina. Let's go to David Chalian with more exit poll information. David, what issues do voters have on their minds as they went to the polls today?
Yeah, we asked what's the most important issue to your vote today, Jake, and immigration. 41% of Republican primary voters in South Carolina say immigration. This is the first time we've seen immigration pop as the most important issue. It's been high up there, but now it's on top. 31% say the economy. Foreign policy is down at 11%, abortion at 10%. We also asked, what are your feelings about the way things are going in the United States today? This is an angrier electorate in South Carolina than we saw in New Hampshire a few weeks ago. 46%, the plurality, say they're angry about the way things are going in the U.S. Another 42% are dissatisfied. So 88% either dissatisfied or angry. That's toxic for incumbent like Joe Biden. The condition of the nation's economy. Only 2% of voters in the primary say it's excellent. 14% say it's good. 38% not so good. And nearly half, 46% of Republican primary voters say it's poor. And then we asked, what about your personal family financial situation? 60% of voters today say they're holding steady. Only 1 in 5, nearly a quarter, 22% say they're getting ahead. And 16% say they're actually falling behind, Anderson.
David Chalian, thanks so much. Immigration, the number one issue in this, according to David. Also so interesting to hear from that voter, Max. Also, we heard from somebody else. Both of those voters didn't really blink an eye at the charges that the former president is facing.
Well, it's fascinating. I mean, and we tend to be reductive in how we look at voters, so we actually hear from some of them. This was somebody who could have been, frankly, a Trump campaign surrogate. He was so enthusiastic about Donald Trump, but he did allude to if there was a conviction that could change the course for him. That's going to be the main thing to watch in this after this race gets locked up, is how many of these diehard supporters who love the Trump years could still be with him if he's, in fact, a convicted felon.
Yeah, we got to watch him kind of actually think about it on camera, right? Like, consider it. And he said it would have a serious impact. And, I think this is really the thing that, when I talk to some of you at this table or other Republican sources, this is what they all worry about. No one knows. But if it happens, the answer is really unclear, and Democrats feel very
and that may have an impact on a general election. But let's be clear, there's not going to be a guilty verdict or any verdict before Donald Trump becomes the nominee of the Republican Party. He's going to clinch that before there's ever a verdict in any of these cases. So, we'll see if when everybody puts on the blue uniform and the red uniform, how the whole thing sorts out.
This immigration poll that David Chalian put up, this is coming on the heels of the congressional inaction on it, also on the heels of what Biden has said about it. This week, the Gallup poll had Biden at his worst ever number on immigration, minus 39, severely underwater. And I'll tell you what Republicans are buzzing about today, and I'm not surprised to see this number so high, is the death of the college student in Georgia, Laken Riley. There is a suspect who is in custody who is alleged to be in the country illegally. Republicans are on fire about this. And so generally, from a policy perspective, and now you have this murder going on in Georgia, I think you're going to continue to see this immigration number go up and up.
The thing that shocked me was the economy number that we pointed out, basically that you had entrants going in, just 16% say that their family is personally falling behind, even though more than 80% of them say the economy is just that bad. So there's this idea that somewhere out there, the economy is bad for people. Trump's going to make it better. But then when you say, are you okay? They're like, oh, yeah, I'm fine.